over here. It kills me seeing equipment just trashed in here. This disc bond thrown against that wheel on this Alice. I mean, everything's sitting in fucking mud. It doesn't look like that's cut into the tire. You know, it's funny. I would kill to have that tractor right there. And it's just sitting up here friggin' rotten. Anyways, dilemma that I've got. You have crop gauge, however you want to set your crops up. How far apart you want your rows. This is like a 38 or a 39 inch. Yeah, 38 row centers. Which I thought was wide, but apparently not. Which means I've been planting my stuff way too close together. But I need to figure out if I want to... How wide is it? 62, 72, 82. So 80 inches on the wheels, on the guide wheels, which is weird because you don't even actually need those for this. I think the reason this has the guide wheels is because they had fertilizer boxes that went up there that had a drop down wheel that ran off of this wheel. I don't know. But I'll do another video on this planter talking about why I want it. But my tractor, the Ferguson, should pull this, and it should pull this set of discs with no problem. And that's a slick little set. It's actually hinged in the middle so you can throw up that last gang and just cut with the fronts if you want to. It's a really, really neat setup. I wonder what the brand is on that. Brand unknown. I want to say it's a Woods, but that's just because it's yellow. But anyways, this is a little bit small for cultivating, but I've got some cultivators I'll show you here in a little bit. I mainly wanted to come up and get the measurements on that to see how far apart the guide wheels were. 80 inches. Oh, damn. Groundhog hole. And I don't think we ever planted with this International. I mean, those... or the arms sitting down in the mud just makes tractors rot, and it just irritates the shit out of me seeing equipment just sit. Yeah, this is 6 foot on centers on these, on the wheelbase on this. We've got a neighbor that's got some equipment, and it's just sitting in the fields rotting. You know, I brought this up with some houses and barns on my road, just sitting vacant, just falling apart and deteriorating to nothing when people can use them. Just makes me sad. All right, let's hold this thought on that width, and that is possibly a cultivating tractor, and go from there. I'll bring you guys right back here. And I don't actually even understand why it irritates me that people don't take care of equipment. I mean, it's not mine. Why should I care? And I guess my biggest complaint is, or my biggest irritation, what are these? 53, 54 inches. What did I say the other one was? 60? So I could flip these wheels and get this to meet the measurements of the 464. But if I do the 39-inch centers with this, the inside of the tires are like 40 inches. So I would have to either widen the tires or move the corn together and maybe do like a 30-inch row, which may do fine. But I think my biggest bitch with the equipment up there in that other barn is, like I've mentioned multiple times, none of this land is mine. Never going to be, never was. Knew that from day one that Mom married my stepdad. You know, and in my hopes and dreams and thoughts, as time went on, my brother would have gotten the land, I would have gotten the equipment, and we would have farmed it together. Now, since then, of course, he's moved on to his hay and makes a killing doing that. And several years ago, about the time I quit caring, we had read Dad's will and found out I wasn't even getting any of the equipment. So it's just hard for me to justify caring on a chunk of dirt that no part of it whatsoever will ever be mine. Meanwhile, with the land not being mine, which is fine, my only hopes of remembering my childhood and having fond memories was with the equipment. And as that gets sold off or sits around rusting in the barn, it's like my whole childhood's leaving. It just irritates the snot out of me. But whatever. 2024 is going to be a better year for me. Look at how much this shovel is worn down compared to that one. These are off of a Farm Hall C or Super C with the brackets. You got two that go in the front and two that go in the rear. And all of these shovels and pans and chisels are all interchangeable on a, what is that, 1.5 inch toolbar? Yeah. Briars. Yummy. So, with this stuff, I can modify these severely to fit either that little International cub or a 3-point hitch setup. To where I can actually utilize these. Man, it's going to be hard to get this stuff off that toolbar though. These are locking keys down here. And they are rust-a-doodled. This shovel's broken. That one's good. So I guess what I need to do is get all of these things up to the house and figure out what's usable and what's not out of them. So if I've got the tractor, I've got the disc, I've got the corn planter, and I've almost got the cultivators. With that, and mind you, we are 6 weeks till plant time. On a side note, I did build a bed for the truck. That's like a little shorty now. It is an 8-foot long, about 7.5-foot wide box. Less than $280 for all the lumber, lights. I upgraded, put some copper caps on it just for funsies. But that's letting me get back to using the truck. That service box was too big, and I was having some issues with it hitting suspension. Anyways, just wanted to do a quick video of me contemplating life. to see if I can actually farm my little acre with this tractor, or if it's going to be just way more hassle than it's worth. Still need to pull off those arms and go from there. All right, you guys be good and be safe. I'm gonna walk up here to the barn and get my John Deere that's been left outside and bring it down here to get it in the barn. I don't want it in the weather. All right, you guys be good and be safe, and we'll talk to you next time.